Hello, everyone out there on the farm. This is John, aka Layered Cake, and
Neil Bottle.
all right. And today we're gonna come at you with a little bit of Wolf Game from the Wolf Game Theory. I kind of want to start off a little bit going over the standings. Really, as I look at it, not much has changed in the upper echelon of things. We have the real crypto coach Corey leading the pack. He's got about 23.3 million wool staked. And just as a frame of reference for y'all, at current standings, it's somewhere around 9 to 10 million dollars US. He's got 1.8 thousand sheep staked and about 287 wolves, and it's a pretty intense team, I would say. I mean, there's really, that's the juggernaut as of right now.
For sure.
Looking at, we're going on to G Money's team, which is, or I'm sorry, Team Panther. Thinking optimistically, there I was. And they have around 452,000 points, a little behind Corey on wool and a little behind Corey on sheeps and wolves, but pretty close, I would say. If there were two juggernauts, I would say those two teams would take the cake. Coming in a close third is the G Money squad. The G Money squad is at 424,000 points. They have one fortification, and actually they're on the clock with the next move in T minus 2 hours. We've already had one move today by Panther, and he decided, like we all thought, to fortify. Rounding of real crypto coach Corey again, and as me and Neil were talking about before the show, he has an astounding almost 30 million wool staked. And at the peak price, that was around $15 million. So again, I really want to stress the idea that as far as things going on the internet right now, this game is probably the cat's meow, I would say, with multi-million dollars worth of prizes on the line here. And in essence, again, I'm going to restate, and we're going to talk about this as a bottom half of the show, that if you do have wool, just use it in the game. It's free money at this point. I mean, you're going to come out ahead. Doesn't matter. So then we'll look at the bottom now, and we'll talk about a little bit of movement at the bottom of the chart. We look at Shamdu, who's moved up one spot, and he's actually going to be the next move after Team G Money, and he has T minus 7 hours before his move. Actually, now that I look at it, just some guy actually has 7 hours too, and it looks like they're going to be neck and neck for that third move. There was a little bit of drama, and I think we talked about it yesterday at the top of the leaderboard with Crypto Corey getting hit not once but twice. One vaulted from just some guy, and another one from the Shamdu. And not to get into too much politics here, but it seems as though there is a rift developing between Crypto Coach and Panther, with some allegations being slung back and forth on old Twitter. I know the guys in the spaces, and Neil could probably speak to this a little later, are trying to get those two on and have a little bit of a debate, but I don't know what kind of headway we're going to make with that. The game is definitely getting a little bit intriguing at this point, with the Vanderchuck group, the two wolves, just kind of chilling right now. Really following predictable lines, not much build up on the wolf. Wolves are sheep and wool, but kind of laying in the cut and building up those fortifications, which is a pretty standard strategy, I think, at this point. I know Neil wanted to go in on a little bit of who's who in the community today, so I'm going to pass the mic over to Neil, and he's going to get into a little bit of personality in this here community we got going on.
Thanks very much. Yeah, so I'm just looking to highlight a few people within the community on Twitter that are definitely good people to follow. They're all very engaging and have a huge amount of information. And then I've included some of the alphas, and then we'll go through the rest of them maybe on a different show. But yeah, the top few anyway. So yeah, I suppose heading it up, we have Farmer Ron, who's Ron the Farmer, at Ron the Farmer. Ron's a great personality in the space. He's got to auction off some of the actual relics himself. He held a whole auction, which was brilliant, and he's up on stage with our auctioneer friend. But yeah, Ron's definitely a good follow. He's a good guy. I
Yeah,
was
and that's
actually
at Farmer Ron on Twitter if you guys don't know his handle. But he's an amazing personality. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, he's been in here since the beginning, and with all of the, it has a tendency to get a little serious sometimes in the voice chat when we get real technical and real analytical and things. And really, I looked around sometimes to really lighten up the mood and put it in perspective that we all here to have fun in the end, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's all about the fun. We're definitely gonna have him on the show. I was on to him earlier
Oh
on,
my God.
and he's definitely coming on. He said for sure.
I know. I just wanted to get my shit together first so I don't just bust up laughing the whole time.
So next we have Brian DeSanto. We had Brian on before, but the audio was so bad I couldn't put it out. But he's definitely coming on, and hopefully on a weekly basis, we hope. But he's definitely
Yeah.
one to follow. You can see it up there on the screen at Brian DeSanto. But yeah, the Wolf Stradamus is what he calls himself. So well,
Which, I mean, if you talk to him, you know that that's pretty spot on. I mean, if
it
there's
is.
anybody in this community that has not been shy to share his voice, share his analytical information, and just share his overall brain with everyone, it's a pretty exponential lake of knowledge that if you have a chance to take your boat out on it, you're not going to be sorry. And I think you'll come back with a greater understanding of not only Wolf Game, but all of NFT space and cryptocurrency in general. He just has a lot to give. So stoked on that guy.
Yeah, he's a real good guy. Next we have Roxa, who was on the show there the other day, and again, analytics. He's really good for the kind of info. He's OG in the Discord with us guys from kind of the start of it, and yeah, like I know I've got a lot of information from Roxa over the time about kind of, you know, what when Risky Game there, he gave me a lot of info on decision making and stuff, and like really cemented my decision on that one. But yeah, so we'll move on to then I put down the Wolf Game Alpha Game bot, which seems to be actually out of action at the moment. The last the last action wasn't put up on it, but it's worth following just for the gifs. They're just fantastic. I think they're brilliant.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere. I didn't even expect that. I
Yeah,
was like, whoa, this is pretty
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. With that, I suppose it adds that extra aspect to the game, which is important, you know. But yeah, it's super cool. Then we have Scarly, who has built the Wolfgame.live site that I'm sure everybody uses regularly. I have it open all the time. It's never closed, I don't think.
I mean, for real. I mean, aside from the artistic communication or contributions from the community, I think Scarlett was really the first one to really bring out like a full working offshoot of the game, and I was like super impressed. And that was a real aha moment for me. I was like, oh shit, okay, people are taking their time and energy and building shit. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's so impressive, and it snowballed an effect for everybody else. And sure, look at us.
Right?
Yeah,
It's inspiring, I guess.
it is. Yeah,
what
yeah.
I would say is,
Yeah.
that's probably the one of the cornerstone attributes of the community is just the constant inspiration I get from people that are willing to take time and dedicate their skills and their know how to benefit everyone.
For sure. And again, another community member, Terminatus, who's been pulling off some amazing gifts lately, and initially put together a Google Doc almanac of the kind of whole FAQs and just everything, all the sites you need to know, all the yeah, everybody who's anybody, it's all in there. And yeah, it's pretty accurate. I always point everybody in that direction, and then recently has been doing some pretty skilled work with gifts. Am I right?
I mean, are we sure he's not on the team? I mean, at this point, I want to speculate. If I could bring up some broad speculation, that maybe Terminatus is, in fact, our magical gift wizard.
Maybe
that provides all those gifts. I mean, it's uncanny how well he bangs it out, and just how really magnificent and detailed they are to the situation. So I don't know. Just saying.
I know. I kind of agree.
Just saying.
So then we have Without Name, which is somebody who's they actually just put up a list today of people they follow and shared it out so other people could follow them. But some very good content. Just about all kind of information around Alpha Game, everything. Just little. They announced that they're going to focus their time and activity on the Wolf Game Discord at the moment, which I thought was a really, that was a good kind of way to put it out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's funny. I saw that tweet, and he was like, I'm looking forward to the end of the Alpha Game so everyone can get back into the Discord again. For sure, I think we all secretly feel that way. We all miss each other. It's almost like being away at camp. And you just want to get back home to your friends on the block and hang out. And
yeah.
Share all your stories again, But yeah, I feel you. Just so you know, without a name, I feel what you're saying. That that's why we're here doing this. Maybe we'll have him on and we can rekindle that voice chat magic.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But some of the stats that Without Names put up is the amount of animals that are staked and then the floor prices and stuff. So 80% staked, which that's quite a lot of the wolves. 76% of sheep staked. And 68% of wolves staked. That's huge amounts staked in this Alpha Game. But definitely a good follow.
Kind of puts it in perspective a little bit.
Yeah.
How much more moves are we gonna have?
Yes, there's still a bit of wool around, and and there's a constant drip every day. What's it? 2 million wool a day? Am I right? Something along those lines. Unlocks.
Right. With all the pouches, you mean?
Yeah. So then I just have some of our wolves. So we've the Wolves of the North. That's G Money's House of G Money, and then we won't comment too much, but definitely worth a follow. We have then AJ Vanderchuk, who is running Gary V's Wolf, and they have an unbelievable GIF. I'm just blown away by it. It's just it's brilliant.
It really tugs at each and every aspect of all of the sort of different, fantasy and
lore,
cinematic comic book, whatever we want to put on top of this game to get us more into it and psyched up for it. I mean, it's got Star Wars, it's got Game of Thrones, it's got, it's got all of it.
Yeah.
And it speaks to, whatever geek lies in your heart. And I have several of them. It's wide appeal.
Yeah, and then cycling through some more of the Alpha 8s, we've got Crypto Corey at Real Crypto Coach. We know that he's running the show in terms of kind of having two Alpha 8s and also having his massive stack of wool, which I have the GIF up now. And yeah, it's just next level. It's next level. There's no need to comment.
And he's not lying.
No.
That GIF is not lying. No. He's got, and he's not shy to tell you about it. So,
yeah, and then his friend, next we have Panther QB19.
Interesting, you put those two next to each other. I don't know if that would work in real life.
Yeah, so we that's interesting. Jefferson Capital is who is that kind of owner of that, and then they have some help from other aspects within the wider community. But for sure, this is definitely one to follow for entertainment purposes. Panther is.
I always hear the auctioneer in my head when he's like Masa Musa.
There's someone I forgot. Masa Musa. Yeah, you have to go.
Well, he's on Panther, right? That's
yeah. I wonder if the relics come into play. In the game. Stake a relic. You know that
Oof.
Corey's doing well. They're doing extremely well. Be interested. There's a lot around. Who's the person who won the last one at the auction?
I want to say Crypto Corey the winner of the final one, because that was the.
No, remember there was the raffle.
Oh, that's right. Who was that? That was a community member that won.
It was, and he was
right?
he was absolutely stoked. Yeah, and it was a
yeah.
cool
Let's go
one.
back and look at that. Maybe we'll have that dude on.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd
We'll
be
reach out.
great.
We'll reach out. So coming up next, we have Just Some Guy. I know we've been, me and you've been going back and forth about Just Some Guy, and he's making me want to get a .sol. I'm just seeing that here now. Yeah, he's a cool guy. I've had a lot of chats. Yeah.
Cut his teeth on the Solana blockchain, I'll tell you.
Yeah. But we again had him on, but unfortunately the audio was unusable. So we'll definitely have him on again, and I know he wants to. We might reach out to him for tomorrow, maybe, or something. We'll see.
Yeah, he's actually the most accessible, probably, of all the alphas that I've come into contact with. He's always just like, he answers right away, and he's like, when we DM or talk, he's like, yeah, I'll be on. Just let me know what time. I don't know how he's gonna feel tomorrow, because the Rams just beat his Bucks, but I'm sure he'll be licking his wounds.
Yeah, and then we have myself, Neil Boddle, NeilBodl, and I try to, at the moment, it's pretty much all Wolf Game content. Surprisingly enough, a little bit of Pixel Vault thrown in there, and I think we're going to do a few Pixel Vault shows here. I know that there's a podcast that just came out. There's walkspace.eth. You should check that out. Kind of a rundown of what happened from the start, and a bit of inspiration for us. I think we might do maybe a little bit of long format, get a few people in, like maybe do an hour where we run through the whole kind of from day one in depth. For the people who have came in the last kind of few weeks with all the excitement, and they don't really understand what happened with Alpha Game and with with the Risky Game, and even the game before that, the initial breeding game, which the metrics and the dynamics of were interesting in itself. And I know me and you always kind of talk about what they've done before and being able to extrapolate and speculate on what coming next, knowing where it came from. So I think that'd be important to do as well.
Right. And that would be one for Terminatus.
Yes, that's it.
He would be an amazing resource for that. So if you're watching Terminatus, and we'll probably both reach out to you and see if you can be on for that, because that would be an amazing recap to have the Farmer's Almanac master himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have yourself, Layer Cake. So I'd be sure to give the both of us a follow. We tweet daily about Wolf Game.
Yeah.
And
if I'm not on Wolf Game, if I'm not on the computer looking at it, then I'm thinking of it usually. It's one of those all-encompassing things, And I just, I think most of the people that are in this game, all they want to do is share knowledge, because there's so much of it in their head. You just gotta get it out.
Yeah.
You gotta find someone to get it out to. But
yeah, so that's my run through kind of a few people to follow in the space as we're kind of moving along. But I know you were looking to maybe chat about some of the wool prices.
Okay, so looking at wool, looks like it's a pretty healthy look here. It's bouncing off, looks like around 26 to 27 cents, and it keeps at that pace. We could go a lot higher from here, I think.
For sure. There's no doubt about that. There's definitely, we're looking at a good lot of support along the kind of along that 25 cent. We've bounced off that multiple times and only just slightly dipped below it. And I think if we can finish up this week on just above 30 cent, we're looking extremely healthy. But there's no problem with a bit of sideways action. I think that have this Alpha Game, just the build up to it, and then the release was just like a pressure valve. and we seen massive swings over the week, with like 50% swings, 40 to 50% swings in the period of a day. So like that's that's been really exciting to watch. But I think a bit of sideways action, and then upon a bit of news or a bit of something to come from the Shepherd, we then see a breakout and a kind of run up again, hopefully.
Right. Yeah, I know, and I think that can kind of lead us into our next discussion here, real quick to wrap it up. I think we can talk about the interim to the interim game. Just kind of last words on wool. I think again we were both talking about it before we started recording, and that was the idea that I haven't even invested my wool drip into the game yet. I kind of just forgot about it. That was my whole philosophy with it. So then I was like, oh wait, I do have more wool. So if you have wool dripping, there's really, unless you're gonna cash it in for dollars or euros or whatever else you're gonna do, or more ETH, which at this point might not be bad, but just put it into the game because you're gonna earn interest on that. You're staking your wool, which is this opportunity is pretty great. And if you stake it with the right team, you could come out significantly ahead. And that long-term plan just got a little more rosy, I think. But the interim to the interim game is coming. I think that is sort of going to start becoming more and more of a conversation as we get further along in this game. I think we each have some thoughts on that. What do you think when you think, what is the risk that they're going to introduce to this game? Because there needs to be some. I think it wouldn't be Wolf's game without it.
Yeah, there's a few possibilities they can really go with. Like, there's always the option for them to create an incentive for people to, one, switch teams, or two, to unstake. Now, whether the supply and demand causes the price to go up, and that's the reason why people would want to unstake, I don't know, or whether it's an announcement that they bring out. But both are definitely options. We know that because there's always surprises around the corner. We know there's 2 events in the game coming, so yeah, I'm really excited to see what they are. And I'm thinking about sprinkling some wool in, but I'm also thinking about maybe saving some just in case there's something else. That way.
Like you're gonna need it for something.
Maybe, or like I know that I hadn't planned on staking a sheep. One sheep I was gonna just keep out on the long term just in case, but then with a lot of plans changed. I also planned on sprinkling everything out as well, which I didn't. I went all in on one team, but things change.
I think we got excited.
Yeah, we got excited. But yeah, well, I might just keep some, and then I'll always have that. I'll have that one sheep that I was planning on not staking to unstake. That's gonna be my play, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were talking about Farmer Chad before. I think definitely we should have Farmer Chad on to discuss his philosophy on that, because he's got a grand plan for that. But I want to leave that for him to explain, and then we can talk about that. But as far as my idea is, there are things going on here that we do not know about as far as the development of the game. I think they are hard at work at developing the game. I think a lot of the resources are being dedicated to the game. I think this was kind of a set it and forget it thing, and I think that the lack of the working on this game did diligently, and I don't think that they necessarily had the time to activate that bot, or even thought about activating that bot, which is it's nothing crazy or anything, but what I was saying in the beginning of my thought was, I feel like because of that, because they couldn't really dedicate as the amount of time they probably wanted to develop this interim game, I think they're going to pull and sort of recycle other aspects and other code in the game to create the risk involved. I personally think that there's going to be a moment in the game or moments in this in-term game where you can unstake without penalty, but I think that the risk in that is going to be the theft of sheep from other wolf packs. I think that you may want to unstake your sheep without penalty to move to a team that you've been kind of eyeing, but there is a chance another team might be able to swoop that sheep away and do with it what it will. So maybe you'll be forced to stake with a team that you didn't necessarily want to until the next period in which you can unstake is activated again. So I don't know. That's just, again, this is all speculation. We like to do that here from time to time because, again, that's in the tradition of the voice chat that we're trying to sort of recreate for everyone here. There's definitely some wild speculation before this game even started as to what was going to happen.
And that's a good point. There was wild speculation, and we, towards the end, I know a lot of points were made about not getting your hopes up, and then the alpha game came and blew it all out of the water, more than what was expected. And for me, that has made me speculate even more. I think also that the shepherd listens to the community and where he sees ideas he can implement and where they work with the tokenomics and everything within the game. He uses that information of what people want, and because like as we see with the kind of the whole survivor sheep and black sheep, I know I definitely added added to that speculation, and I know there's quite a few of the community members that did, but it's that's like if there wasn't a plan, maybe there is now,
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's another person we gotta get Black Sheep on here. We gotta get Sammy Dreamin' on here because he is, I believe, the only person who could really convince me of the Black Sheep conspiracy. He definitely was a big part in pushing that narrative, and it's quite remarkable how quickly that spread out throughout the community and vaulted the price of Black Sheep. I think last time I checked, I think they were up 3 ETH or something.
Yeah, have it up here. Yeah.
That's amazing how a community can do that, and sort of that's that crossroads between us sort of submitting to the lore of the shepherd and then creating our own. And I think that's just what communities do, and that's what humans do. But I think just to wrap up your sentiment, this team continues to over deliver. I think that they promised something pretty amazing in the beginning, and they've done nothing shy of deliver every time. And then the instances in which they haven't, aka exploit, they have made up with it or for it, tenfold, I would say. And the other day I talked about, when is it going to be like, okay, we forgive you. They just keep adding value and giving things to us that held on through. So again, just a quick little blurb that they do respect and reward loyalty.
For sure.
And I'm just going to keep saying that. You can rewind that one more time. Loyalty, everyone, loyalty. That's what is being rewarded here. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say today on this beautiful Sunday. I'm just kind of awaiting Team G Money's move here. I'm going to predict fortification, and full disclosure, I am on Team G Money and my assets are staked there, but I really, honestly, they've done a really great job of buffering leadership from the flock or their people or their village, whatever you want to call it, their kingdom. But they've done a good job. So in the end, I don't necessarily, have an exact answer of what they're going to do, but I have the utmost confidence in leadership that, they will do the right thing. Yeah, because they do have their and our best interest in mind.
I completely agree. Yeah, so on that note, I think we'll wind up, and if everybody can give us a comment, tell us guests you want on the show, anyone we went through on Twitter today, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, all that sort of jazz. And we will see you hopefully tomorrow.
Bye.